Hey, it's Dan Emmons, and this is Bite-Size Blockchain. In Bitcoin, we refer to those that validate transactions and create Bitcoin as miners. Think of the traditional gold miner, who performs an immense amount of physical work using heavy industrial equipment to find gold. In blockchain and cryptocurrency, miners rely on computers and code as tools, and use electricity as the fuel or cost to mine. While mining is a group effort, it's competitive in nature. The miner who solves a complex cryptographic puzzle first announces to the rest of the network, "I found it," and is rewarded. The laws of mathematics and probability suggest that the amount of computational power is so massive and so time-consuming that in order to find the solution, the statistical chance is so small that it should be rewarded. In physics, power is the rate of doing work, the amount of energy transferred per unit of time. It's fitting, then, that we call this process proof of work. Miners take all the transactions that recently occurred, the identifier of the previous block, and a nonce, a random number, so that when we mash all this data together, we get a value guaranteed to be smaller than a target. The smaller the number, the more difficult it is to find. Find it, and you'll be rewarded with a certain number of Bitcoin. That's it. Sounds easy, right? Well, it's actually so difficult to find, it requires billions and billions of guesses, using a ton of computational power. As of today, it actually costs over $1,000 in electricity to create a single Bitcoin. Therefore, the value of the Bitcoins that are mined must be implicitly higher in order for it to be profitable to the mining community. In the market today, Bitcoin is worth over $8,000. At one point, it was worth far less, and the cost of production was drastically less, when there was much less competition in the mining space and the market demand for transacting with Bitcoin was much smaller. This work is expensive and time intensive. In 2009, the miner reward was originally 50 Bitcoin per block. After 4 years, it went down to 25 Bitcoin per block, and now it's 12.5 Bitcoin every 10 minutes. As part of the Bitcoin software, it's built in to self-adjust the difficulty of the puzzle about once every 2 weeks to account for more mining hardware. You see, without this adjustment, the more miners there are, the faster a block could be solved. And if there weren't enough miners, the difficulty of the puzzle would have to be adjusted to make sure the platform could be relied upon as an effective network. Therefore, the value of Bitcoin is a direct function of the number of users and transactions that take place. As the demand grows, the value of Bitcoin also grows. So you might think, holy cow, why don't we just pre-mine? Let's do all the work ahead of time to find all the random numbers that generate that magic value with 30 or 40 or 50 zeros. That's the beauty of it. You can't. The system was designed so we can't calculate upfront what we must send into the hash function to get a specific output for this unique set of transactions. The amount of computational power required is over 1.5 million terahashes per second. That's more powerful than the top 500 supercomputers combined. Once a solution is found, the miner rewards himself by assigning the new value of available Bitcoin to his own address as unspent transaction outputs, UTXO, thereby mining new Bitcoin. The solution to the puzzle is quite easily verified by the other nodes on the network, and the block is added to the permanent blockchain. Think of any really hard math problem to find the value of x on a test in school. It takes a lot of brain power to find the solution, but easy to plug in and see if it works. Immediately afterwards, the process is repeated with new transactions that have been queuing up, a hash of the previous block is used, and a brand new puzzle begins. As more blocks are added to the chain, we gain more and more confirmations that the recorded history is the golden standard of a true representation of past events. The fact that each puzzle solved also refers to the block before it makes it immutable. If a devious miner tried to fool the network about transactions in a single block, it would have to work faster than the computational power of the rest of the network combined in order to keep up with modifying the next blocks and the next blocks and so on. This is mathematically and financially infeasible. The blockchain and the value of Bitcoin are backed by the laws of math and the most precious resource of all, time itself. Please subscribe, like, and share.